For the last 128 years, the National Medical Association has been advocating for Black physicians and Black patients. It was the force behind landmark reforms such as Medicaid and Medicare. It also has campaigned for health issues impacting the African American community, such as sickle cell, HIV, and Black maternal health. Dr. Melissa Ann Walker, a Region V trustee of the National Medical Association, said while the need for more Black doctors is important, what's more critical is patient outcomes when visiting with doctors. This means not just treating patients, but talking and listening to their concerns and needs. She said that Black, or doctors of color, often understand that more because they may have similar backgrounds to their patients. She also recognized that camaraderie while she was pregnant with her son. Her obstetrician-gynecologist, OBGYN, made her focus on her health. If my OBGYN doctor had not been a Black woman and my friend, I probably would have bullied her and said I was too busy to give birth. When she checked my blood pressure at an appointment, it was immeasurable, and my doctor told me to take it seriously and put my other tasks aside. I went into the hospital that very day at 9 a.m. and, by 3 p.m., had a baby. It could have been really bad had I not listened to her or had another doctor who thought, "Because I'm a doctor, I know what's good for me," said Dr. Walker, who also operates Carroll Clinic, a family medical practice on the East Side. Dr. Walker is among the small group of Black doctors in San Antonio, which mirrors the city's African American population, less than 7%. Dr. Walker acknowledges that it has been by the grace of God that her private practice has stayed open for many years, when similar businesses like hers have had to grapple with corporate-run and government insurance programs. She said, while there are Black doctors locally, many are with group-run medical practices that often put pressure on doctors to see a certain number of patients daily. According to a study by the Association of American Medical Colleges, AAMC, only 5.7% of U.S. doctors are Black or African American, a detrimental shortage that has far-reaching and negative effects on Black people. The AAMC and the NMA are working collaboratively to address the low numbers of Black male physicians. Based on research, the enrollment of Black males in medical school only increased from 2.4% to 2.9% since 2014. Senator Bernie Sanders, IVT, recently spoke with leaders of both AAMC and NMA about the Bipartisan Primary Care and Health Workforce Act, which will give millions of dollars of support to HBCU medical schools. Despite San Antonio's small Black population, it does have Black doctors in prominent places. Dr. Diana M. Burns Banks and Dr. Margaret A. Kelly are both on the Bexar County Hospital District Board, a group that sets goals, plans, and performance for university health. Dr. Claude A. Jacob is the city's Metropolitan Health District Director. Terry Treadwell is the president and CEO of Northeast Baptist Hospital, and Dr. Deavry Anderson is the chief medical officer of Methodist Healthcare System. Dr. Walker credits NMA for taking up platforms like sickle cell and Black maternal health to try to change the biased narrative that even physicians believe. She said before she entered medical school, she cared for her mother, who suffered a stroke at the age of 52 and died shortly later. She said although she was educated, she didn't know everything she could have asked for at that time to care for her mother. Now with her practice, she tries to get to know her patients and appreciates NMA trying to educate others and shed light on racial health disparities. However, increasing the number of Black physicians could result in better patient outcomes for the Black community. For instance, Black doctors can encourage their patients to get screenings to detect colon and prostate cancer. They can discuss with their patients the red flags for diabetes or cardiovascular diseases and help their colleagues in the medical community understand the significance of sickle cell anemia. I had an OBGYN friend share with me a story that, when she was a resident, she was given a patient who was labeled a drug seeker. The friend said, she discounted the patient's crisis because of how her colleagues judged the patient. After talking with the patient, my friend learned her extreme pain was due to sickle cell, said Dr. Walker, adding, "There are no doctors in San Antonio who treat adult patients with sickle cell." Dr. Walker credits NMA for taking up platforms like sickle cell and Black maternal health to try to change the biased narrative that even physicians believe. She said before she entered medical school, she cared for her mother, who suffered a stroke at the age of 52 and died shortly later. She said although she was educated, she didn't know everything she could have asked for at that time to care for her mother. Now with her practice, she tries to get to know her patients and appreciates NMA trying to educate others and shed light on racial health disparities. In 1895, when the NMA was founded by 12 doctors, it didn't just sit idle during the civil rights movement. It coordinated sit-ins, marches, and picket lines to advocate civil rights. The organization also lobbied to pass the Civil Rights Act of 1964 and supported Dr. Martin Luther King's 1965 voter registration campaign in Selma, Alabama. Also in 2020, NMA supported U.S. Representative Bobby Scott of Virginia, who urged Attorney General William Barr to enforce the Death in Custody Reporting Act of 2013. In 2018, the Bureau of Justice Statistics revealed 4,135 individuals in custody died, the highest number on record. The act defines death in custody as any time someone dies being detained by police while under arrest, during the process of arrest, or being transferred to a detention facility. This law highlights a few notable names, such as George Floyd, Sandra Bland, and Freddie Gray. Dr. Walker, an adjunct professor at the University of the Incarnate Word, encourages young Black doctors to join NMA. She said equity and justice are ongoing, even in the health industry. I understand the need to just go to work and bring home a paycheck, but organizations like NMA broaden your understanding of what you don't know, added Dr. Walker, about how NMA has helped her professionally and made her aware of the more prominent health issues impacting the Black community. To find out more information about the National Medical Association, visit www.nmane.org.